Okay.
Hello everyone and welcome back to JoyClicks. We just finished the Nintendo Direct and there is loads to talk about, but what is most crazy from this Direct presentation for E3 2019 is we finally have a confirmation first look at a sequel in development to Breath of the Wild. The trailer introduces us to the underground of Hyrule Castle, where we see Link and Zelda exploring the remnants of the Calamity, it seems. There's been theory from Breath of the Wild that the Triforce is represented through the Calamity, meaning the Triforce of Power, the blue spiritual energy representing the Triforce of Wisdom, and the green here would be representing the Triforce of Courage. So the trailer progresses and we see Link and Zelda traveling together. This is Link and Zelda from Breath of the Wild. Zelda cut her hair, and the two of them are working together as best friends, as companions, which is awesome to see. I hope that's meaning something about co-op or playable Zelda. I made a video on JoyClicks a couple weeks ago requesting additions to Breath of the Wild, and the number one thing I wanted to see was an RE2 style pick your character and you get two main campaigns, or something to that effect where we get Link and Zelda in the fold. But we see them riding together on a beast, exploring these caverns and caves, which is awesome, and then the Calamity starts spreading once again as they snoop around in the underground. And this is where it gets very interesting here, because what's revealed is seemingly the corpse of the Gerudo form of Ganon. I can't tell what it is that's holding him down. Maybe it's a spiritual embodiment of one of the goddesses, maybe it's the Triforce in some embodied form, but the Calamity is spewing out of the heart of this form of Ganon, being contained by this hand. And after that, we do get a shot of Link controlling the power of this hand. Maybe this is again leading into the Triforce being a bigger player in this game, because the Triforce was pretty absent in Breath of the Wild. So if we get a magic meter coming back to the series, or we get Link, Zelda, and Ganon all being able to use Triforce power, that could be really unique. But something goes wrong here. We see Link catching Zelda's hand, but maybe that's happening in reverse and she's about to fall into a pit and they're just teasing us right now, because right after that we see that Link is caught by the Guardian hand, if we want to call it that. So maybe something goes terribly wrong here. The next shot we see Ganon being released from the hand. He looks less sickly and less like a corpse in the shadow. It looks like a legitimate human Gerudo form of Ganon. In the next scene we see the cave collapsing and Zelda falling, so again maybe that's adding to the theory about Zelda falling and that's how the game starts. Maybe that's how she gets lost if she isn't playable in a way we're expecting. I'm hoping we do get to bounce back and forth, because Zelda has earned the chance to be the hero of a game. Next, we see that the corpse is being reanimated, and again, it does have Gerudo markings and jewelry on it, so if this isn't Ganon, I really have no idea who it would be. Maybe Demise, but like, I don't think they want to touch on that because Breath of the Wild was so separate from the rest of the timeline. And then the final shot of the trailer is further confirmation that this is a sequel to Breath of the Wild, because we see the overworld of Hyrule, and whatever issue Link and Zelda may have unfortunately caused in those caverns is causing Hyrule Castle to rise from the ground. So I'm very curious to see what this leads to. I'm excited that this looks like a very dark tone. That's exactly what I wanted out of the next 3D Zelda. And again, I'm just blown away they decided to share this with us today. If they are reusing assets from Breath of the Wild, then it seems like they pretty much are. Zelda looks a little modified, Link looks about the same, but that is Hyrule Field. That is Hyrule that we saw and played through in Breath of the Wild. So if they are giving us Hyrule again, maybe it's coming out sooner than we think. Maybe this is just the intro to the game again, and then we get some new underworld, dark world to explore. I would love to see that, because I would love Zelda to harken back to the Majora's Mask-like tone, comparing this to Ocarina of Time. And as the trailer closes out, we do get the official confirmation that the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is now in development. There's so much I want to see out of this game. I loved Breath of the Wild to death. I had very little complaints about that game. And if you want to know more about what I really want in Breath of the Wild 2, I have a video linked here where you can check that out. But as far as when we can expect this game, like I was saying, reusing assets is a really good idea, and I think that Nintendo knows that, because they want Zelda to be the big player, especially after how well Breath of the Wild sold. even more so than Mario right now. I think Zelda is super appealing to a wide audience, more than it ever has been. So in order to capitalize on that, I think they're going to want to get this out as soon as they can. This year we are getting Link's Awakening, which also had a feature in the Direct, and that game looks fantastic. That is tied to be my #1 favorite Zelda game of all time. Love it dearly, so I can't wait to play that. But Breath of the Wild 2, coming sooner than I really expected. I hope it's next year, maybe 2021, but no doubt we're going to see more of it in the coming months and years. So what do you think of this? Are you excited? And what did you think of the Direct? I was kind of let down, kind of bummed out that Animal Crossing got delayed, but between Banjo, this, and Link's Awakening looking sweet, I'm pretty excited for what's in store with Nintendo. But if you want to know more about all of that stuff, you can stay here on JoyClicks if you're new. Subscribe if you enjoy Zelda or Marvel or any of that kind of other stuff on the channel. Expect more Nintendo in the short future, and until then, good vibes and good game.